And hello everybody, welcome on back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're picking right back up where we left off. Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, Day 2, Trial Former. Below the selected save data. Please and thank you. You ever just like sit and hear weird noises in your, apartment or whatever, and you're like, because like I know it's just water running through the walls because of the pipes, but I feel like it's going on for very long. Hate that. Oh well. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. How'd the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? The defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they're suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. There's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is? You're not a defense attorney. Got her. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. See, you say that, but I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Dang it. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Man, how do you expect me to work under these conditions? I have to, like, do my own thing. Okay. I just did a quick pause because, like I said, I was like, that sound was really bugging me, and I was trying to figure out if it was something on my end or not. I was like, it looks like just the water running for like downstairs for the bathroom is really loud in my room, so love that. But anyways, February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. My buddy old pal. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Wow. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not that of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he is much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. Cough up, Queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? This is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running a lunch lamb these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the case. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has stated to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Why is he getting all flustered? Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of the A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who is this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans add to the court record. Okay. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on your principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are willing to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? Call me hope the way I want to be crushed. If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Alright. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Okay, but her right hand's the one that's cut, so... Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Miss Wright, or Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alright. What do you mean you always knew a day like this would come? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, so you know my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. Let's see. What evidence do we have? Also, she couldn't have seen... Okay. So there's definitely something going on, because there's no way that... Date and time of death somewhere between 4 and 5:30 p.m. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Alright, let's ask you about this boyfriend of yours. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yeah, you go, girl. As Larry's girl Keontae would say. God, I cannot remember that for the life of me. Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is so open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think... I mean, can you blame him? I was like, we always respect, someone with confidence, you know? The security guard room is in that lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. Since I'm impressed, it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Okay. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I... Sorry. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Just like... I want to judge with the... I want to judge that's hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. I can't even get the cadence right, because it's just... Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. But through the wire fence, I saw it standing next to a garish car. Okay. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can, even if we don't have any proof. We can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck? Witness, why am I the only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photo division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Still doesn't explain what happened to her hand. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at that time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it's easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as our ability to kill an egg, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Okay. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, Chief Prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay. Okay. I feel like I don't have a lot to go on, huh? To tell us... Doesn't tell us where he got stabbed. I don't think it's anything there. I don't think that's gonna help us. Hey, are you telling me this is the witness? Okay. So I always knew a day like this would come. I was only on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my family home detective's intuition at work, Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she throws the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Just says to press, but did I miss a contradiction somewhere? Because the thing is like, so in this image, her hand is fine. Presumably. And so with this, she could see, so it makes sense, that lines up. She can see through the wire fence. Weapon. The victim's body, either that or... Okay. I feel like I'm being dense about something, like there's something that I'm very clearly missing. Okay, biggish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth? Yes. The same knife, of course. Was. Odd case, brings on sure it's the defendant. Certain it was her. I feel like it's gotta be... I was just asking about the knife. Yeah. No, ability to kill. That's the pointy tip of the knife into just like Goodman's chest. I'll be honest, I have no clue. Did you say when? A boyfriend, yes, good boy. Security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's on the left second level, so you can see everything from there. There's a security sign. You want to drug the cars into a visitor now, parked in B block, so she wasn't B block when she witnessed the crime. Is it something with this? Parking lot with Edgeworth's car. I have no clue. I feel very dumb. It's just crazy though, because I was like, from the time that this person was murdered, there was literally a 3-minute window, so she had to have also showed up at the same time. Okay. Yeah, I mean... Oh, not what I meant to do. Skip through this again. No. Okay. Maybe someday when I'm not working like non-stop, I'll not play this game when I've been like completely just wiped. See, I was like, I couldn't even think of what word I wanted to use. Okay. So is there something about this? So it's like, I mean, that's her standing in there. It shows that it's A block. Okay. What if we push that with this? There we go. Can you witness this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with a knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. This is the photograph he took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yeah, it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Miss Wright, you're just gonna sit there and take this kind of abuse? Yeah, that's kind of like my whole thing. You got a better idea? Objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, your order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. What? These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Well, easy, you just try to get her to put them on and see if they fit. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. It was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Okay. There's gotta be something that we then can push that with? Yeah, the knife. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell Buck's lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife? The knife? The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk? Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon? The defendant is the chief prosecutor district. Oh, yeah, the prosecutor's bad people. The defense has a request. We ask the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ugh. Order, order, order. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. No. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is the lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw and not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Alright. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Wow, I can just not read it all today. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Ha, joke's on you, it was only one knife wound. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. Does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. And... I'm gonna have to stop you on this one. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. I pointed it out. What? What do you mean? What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness. Got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one would ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. What are you talking about? Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Come on, Edgeworth, you're literally stealing all of the stuff that I'm trying... Wait, you objected to take credit over that, you son of a bitch. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady would be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim? This next testimony might be, might just be the moment of truth. Truth. Jesus Christ. I just, I'm going to die, thank you. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. Quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. Okay, but you couldn't have possibly... You were quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Oh, no, that's me. An oil drum. Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Okay. But the thing is, it was like, there's no way... You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details? I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lynchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block, so you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have got to my sister at that fast. Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Okay. I mean... Yeah, it was like, there's no way that... Okay. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? Okay. She mentioned the muffler. What did she say exactly? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see? No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use a phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right, near the car there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Saw it all, how she tried to... Okay, but you're lying about this now, because you couldn't have... See, we just needed that first one, and now we're rolling really easily. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making the phone call. Yeah. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order? Order? What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Got her. Got her with her own namesake. Ooh. Grr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... what she saw, right? She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Starr? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Starr lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister tried to use a phone, but failed? Doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patchouli on rice, right? Mr. Wright, I thought you had something there. Okay, I mean... one more try. I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Okay. Where she saw it then, right? What is significant about this fact? Nothing, therefore it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. Let's say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony I've heard points in one direction. So it would have been... like here, right? There's only a place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed. The security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said, you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned? Today a man has gotten the better of Angel Starr. Angel, more like getting caught. Angle. I lost it about halfway through. It's fine. Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Oh, Mr. Wright, doesn't that strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they are guilty of perjury. She knows this. She won't risk that without a good reason. So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what would that change? Would it be the angle? Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of had a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Oh, okay, so that's not it. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Okay. Oh, I guess it's the distance, huh? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans is quite clear. The distance with... Aha! Oh no, I guess you're right. Alright, never mind. I'm just dumb. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you were arrested, Miss Sky? Or where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. That's my new indie pop album. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. This is so ridiculous, though. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in P block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it, I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point. The spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. That's right, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? What? I'm sure I do. But she said the moment after, and now it's 5 minutes, so yeah. 5 minutes between the The witnessing of the murder and the arrest, think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta in knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank, isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea, I didn't care. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Alright. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Cop-Up Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Woo, we did it! Oh, come on. What do you have to say now? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's one you tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have to fight decisive evidence. What was that? This is another one of her trick lunchboxes. My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo, a triple-decker? Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. This is literally bribery. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Okay. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. I don't know why I keep wanting to say divisive. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with the evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Okay. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Oh, I hate you. You're the worst. Okay. Ah, there's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe, it's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This mud blight might be an important clue. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. His right hand was bent when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Okay. So, I wasn't looking at the crime, now... These items were found in the shoe, one was this, the victims. The type, much how to defend it. Okay, let's start pressing. Why did you lie? Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blink means nothing. Then, why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it? But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I had detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? Here's more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. Happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really? In any case, remove valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next. So, you brought it into the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used it to be a detective. The shoe does not appear to have does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And the blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Okay. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. Claim you know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Damn, this is me telling a joke all the time, huh? That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can't differentiate between millions of types of blood with all the tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I'm not imagining things. There's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I'd give you peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what you have to say, Mr. Wright. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us a problem with this evidence. Uh... Is it the blood on the bottom? Wonder if you noticed there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. Makes sense. Victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? God, I hate it here. Stop making me try to figure all this stuff out. I say like I haven't been playing this game for, like 15 hours. Like, it's what I should expect, however... I don't... I'm gonna lose. These are the victim's blood. I mean, that's that thing though, where it's like if you killed someone with a knife, like how likely would it be that they somehow step in their own blood but don't get it on the top of their shoe? No. I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Ugh. Would you like a grinder or a grind from the heel of my boot, Mr. Wright? Man, tough crowd. Mr. Wright, let's be scientific about this. Examine the evidence. As I thought, a waste of time. Well, that was a nice break. Let's return to the testimony, shall we? Okay. So was I not on the right track with that? Don't... Also blood from the chest wound. I also don't get how would she... Your Honor? Oh, alright. Well, we botched it. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. The defense has failed to give the court sufficient reason to doubt the prosecution's claim. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, guilty. The accused was surrendered to the court immediately to bail pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Oops. Oh god, is it gonna put... I hate it here. Okay, I'm gonna pause and I will be back when everything's caught up. Okay, alright, we're back to where we left off. There was a problem, and I still think that it's gotta be with the shoe. It's gotta be the blood on the bottom. I wonder if you notice there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Nope, I already forgotten her voice. That's my bad. Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about their shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order? Well, witness? What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. Then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a way, or there has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Not his smug ass over here. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure. I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness? Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha, you don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Well, feels like a stretch, but that ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum and to erase the telltale signs. Why? That's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. But the thing is, though, is that it wouldn't get rid of, like, any of the... Even if it washed it away, it's like blood's notoriously difficult to get rid of. If you could get rid of it with just water, a lot more people would be, you know, using that. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. But Mr. Wright, do something, please? What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor? Very well. But Angel Starr is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Hold it. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Starr, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister had hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox? A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Oh. I'm sorry, Mia. I was gonna say, are we getting visited by her? Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection.
Yeah. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right? Are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence? Yeah? I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose, since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. Also, I don't get it though, because they straight up, like, the way the body is framed is that he's, like, upside down, so... I will say, I was like, something does seem weird about this, though. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. So it's got to be... because this was mentioned during the call. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony.
Muffler? Ah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means the piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh. I don't even know what to do to make the noises sometimes. I'm just like, you know what, we're vibing. Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the court proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Phew, that was close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry?
Okay. Wow, that was a hell of a case. I looked over at OBS and I was like, please tell me I remember to hit continue when I paused it. I did an entire recording for Assassin's Creed yesterday that was like an hour, but it's all zoomed in on like the top 75% of the screen, so it was just all off. It was like I even looked at the recording multiple times during the course of that and it just didn't click at all. So that's kind of where we've been at here recently. But hey, you know what? We'll figure something out. Um, but if you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Hopefully enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun jazz. And I will see you in the next one.